understanding of them. So I'm really looking to forward to Shannon to provide some feedback on strategies. Move forward, because yesterday we actually ran out of time a little bit, so I want to make sure we can get everybody's presentation in today. I don't know if anybody has any comments, if Kesra or if Buren or Ann would like to make a comment, or if any one of the various participants.
No, I think, the presenting team have been working very hard, right? And I think they contribute to a lot with the teams in well thought plans, with the well structures, and match with their audience, target audience. I think we learned a lot from them yesterday.
Yes, I agree. So I think we have 3 presentations today. I believe there's another one from Thailand. Am I correct? I'm not sure. And then I believe we have one from Cambodia. And then we have one other one as well, but I don't remember where that's from. So why don't we, whoever's going to be presenting, it looks like Parinda is going to present because she put her camera on. Good morning. How are you? So why don't we start moving forward first with the Parinda can present the other Thailand presentation.
Hello, everyone. Let me share the screen for a few seconds. Okay. Can you see my
yes, we
my
can.
plan now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So this is from Chulalongkorn University team. We are actually not quite finished yet, but from the last time we got a lot of good comments about revising the time. So we did that, and we are trying to plan more in details about what we are going to do. So for right now, I would like to show you the overview of our PD plan first. So for us, the main target for participants to learn is to support the secondary school science teachers in teaching a CR and scientific modeling based classroom, so that they can support their students to understand better about the phenomena and how science works. Our target group will have approximately, we will recruit about 30 teachers, and participating teachers should meet these requirements. So one, they must apply into our program in pair, because in this program, they are going to work as a teaching buddies, and the buddies must be science teachers in the same school. We believe that with this method, teacher will continue using and applying what they learn with our program into real school context. And the participating teachers must be in charge of a science or a STEM course. They must have a course that available for us to implement this kind of teaching, because in Thailand, our standard is very content based. I understand that for some teachers, it's difficult for them to manage time in such a regular school time period. There will be about 6 universities lecturers who will help us in this support. And we try to write down the objectives of the plan in concurrence with what Joe had shared with us from the last time. So we came with this about 10 objectives. The teachers will be able to understand the role of scientific explanation and scientific modeling in helping students think and work like scientists. They'll be able to use the evidence-based discussion, use questioning techniques to support students' learning in scientific explanation and scientific modeling, understand the learning goals of the unit, explain the scientific concepts related to the unit, establish an engaging context for students' learning, understand and use scientific practice, support students in collaborating in gathering data and discussing ideas, see the value of students developing artifacts and be able to assess students learning from the artifacts, and they will be able to develop a coherent unit. By saying develop a coherent unit, we doesn't mean that they have to develop the whole new unit, but we hope that they will be able to write a detailed unit plan by adjusting what we provided in the teaching materials that meet their context. So for the overview, we will have totally 4 kinds of activities, and we've been revising the time, and we provide more time for them for their learning. We will start with the activity 1 by introducing the CER and modeling. This will take 1 day. The main concepts of this activity is to introduce them the importance, what CER and modeling based teaching and what are they. For the activity 2, we will transferring what they learn about the CER and the modeling to the practical example of the tech activity. The quality water 1, and will be divided into the small groups, depends on what topic they choose. In this activity, provided materials and discuss how to profit teaching context to their courses and to their students, especially in adjust the plan and write the plan of their own. We will conduct the peer teaching so that teachers will get feedback and more confident about what they are going to teach in school. The final activity is the contextualization and implementation. This will take 1 semester. So teachers will use the plan with their own teaching in the actual classroom. And because they are in pair, they will switch the role by observe each other and work with a university lecturer to help discussing the details of their plan and helps with debriefing and discuss what they've been done and what should be improved, so that finally after the whole semester is finished, we hope that they will learn how to conduct a good lesson by their own. So starting with the activity 1, introducing the importance of CER and modeling will take 1 whole day. We will engage the teachers by having them think about their prior belief and understanding about teaching by asking questions and responded in Padlet application so that everybody can see each other response. The question will be like, in your idea, what do scientists do and how they develop the new knowledge? In your opinion, how important it is to support students to think and work like scientists? and what pedagogy you usually use to support them. And because in Thailand, most teachers believe in using the confirmatory inquiry approach. So we will have them watching 2 videos that we have to find the material later, watching between the video that shows a teacher teaching in a classroom, teaching confirmatory inquiry approach, and another video showing a scientist's work in developing an explanation to a particular phenomena. And we will have them discuss about the difference between learning with confirmatory inquiry and a scientist's way to develop an explanation, and discuss about how they can change so that their students can learn to be more like scientists. We will have a follow-up lecture on what is scientific explanation, and what is scientific modeling, and how it works. And we will demonstrate a SAGE modeler as an example of a way to create a model. Then we will use this discussion to transfer them to be ready for the next activity, in what subjects are they teaching and what national standards that are the school goals that they are responsible for. And how do they think the use of scientific explanation and scientific modeling will support their students to achieve the standards or the goals that they are already responsible for? After that, we will conduct the activity so that they can see the examples of the provided unit from Concord. With that way, we believe that they will see a good example of how to teach. So the units will have the different details. I wrote the draft of the interaction unit. This is similar to what I presented earlier. So I will choose one investigation. The one that I chose is tape experiment. And the teachers will learn and conduct the tape experiment unit. And after that, we will discuss about what situations and events that teachers from the unit use to engage students to illustrate the significance of learning about the particle charge. Why it is important that teachers must introduce students to observe phenomena before introducing the concepts of particle, and how can scientific explanation be created. Can you explain more about the method you use, and have you ever allowed your students to create scientific explanation? That kind of questions. And then I will follow by the lecture talking about the pedagogy that needed to teach this kind of unit. For example, the questioning technique and the cooperative learning technique, so that they can have more resource of pedagogy to be used. Our details are written by Patchery. For example, the water quality unit. She conducted the same idea that the teachers will play. Patchery is teaching today, but I can tell you a little more that she already modified some of the unit to meet Thai context. For example, she will have students learn from the Google Map to see where's Bangkok and how's the river flow in the city of Bangkok, that kind of thing. So these are the details and the examples of the water resource that we have in our university, and she will conduct the experiment to test the water quality. Similar thing for Health in Our Hands. There will be an investigation that she will modify it to fit the students to learn and see how students learn in this unit and have the debriefing discussion. This is the resource she prepared. So after finish the activity 2, we hope that the teachers will see a good example of how to teach and the example of the materials that the teachers should provide to their students in order to create the model and the explanation. Then we will move to the activity 3 to help teachers transfer what they learn, the example that we have, to their own plan by transferring to the school unit plan and peer teaching. So I will have them think about the subjects that they teach and how they think the scientific explanation and modeling can help them achieve the standards and goals in their own course. I will provide them with the real world situation that today's learner needs skills to think and solve new problems. So even though we are in the country with a standard-based curriculum, somehow we really need our students to know more about scientific explanation and scientific models. So as a teacher, I will have to think about how would they modify the materials we have from the Concord unit to their own class. I will use a think aloud peer problem solving because teachers already work in pair. But I will have them think individually for the ideas of how they will modify their current plan. After that, each teacher will explain to each other in the pair, switching from the explainer to the about what they have planned in their mind, and then they will help each other to find the best way that they think to modify the current plan that they already have. After that, I will have them choose a phenomena that they think best fit to Thai students that can drive and motivate students' motivation to learn, and what kind of phenomena that best fit for them, and what kind of driving questions they will use in order to motivate the students. Each pair of teachers will present their idea on the phenomena and drive questions they will use for their unit, and have the whole class have the feedback on that. After they get a real good phenomena and driving questions, I will have them work with each other to write the more details of their plan, and this plan will be ready for them to use in the next semester. And we will have them peer teaching. Each pair of teachers might take about 1 or 2 hours to peer teaching with the class. And I will have the questions for discussion for the class. What phenomena are used by the teachers to motivate learners? And do you find it motivating? What do you suggest? Is the activity support students to gather enough data to generate models and scientific explanation? What should be improved? Is there any suggestions on questioning and scaffolding techniques that teachers can use to support the learners? Is the students' artifacts coherent with the learning goal? How can teachers use the artifacts to benefit learning assessment? After that, they will be able to improve their plan and will be ready for the actual classroom. For the semester, initially I plan to have the 3 cycle of lesson study. They will plan, do, observe, and reflect that teaching. Then the first cycle already planned in the workshop. So they will start with do observe and reflect. And the university the university lecturer will help them with the observing and reflect what they did in the school and what they would like to modify or improve in their next plan. So we believe that we will have these 3 cycles of lesson study, and finally they will have a really good one of the lesson plan that they can use in the future. Oh, I just see Patri is here. Patri, would you like to add up more details about what you plan in the in your unit?
Yeah, so I'm not so sure that I still have time, so just about a few minutes, Professor Joe.
Yeah, I think we
You
have.
you can go for 5 or 10 minutes. It's fine.
Yeah, okay, so I will go further for the water quality.
Water quality.
So yeah, water quality. Yes.
Okay.
So I will have the first one, will you discover your local watershed, and the second one is how do stream organism tell us about the quality of water, and what does the chemistry tell us. And the first one is whether the water we drink come from, it is clean enough, and the final one is whether the waste water come from and how is it treated. So first, I will let them start with I will let them go to the Google map and then type their location of the school and to see where is the watershed that nearest their school, because I'm trying to make the situation is like a more meaningful to them, yeah, when they choose. And then I will let them visit the website and go to the detail of the term, the watershed. So from the activity player of Concord.org that they show the video that is very interesting, and then I will add a couple of questions for them to think about. And then I will let them do, because if you look at the picture that we have the pool, and then we have the building behind that pool. This is the place that in the Chulalongkorn University where the professional development workshop will occur. So we choose this building because it's near the pool like this. And then I will use the activity and the question to ask the teacher about how can we determine the water quality from 2 sources. The first one is the organism, and the second one is the chemistry. So I will let the teacher survey and then decide the table to collect and count what types and how many of the organisms that they found in the pool, and then we'll let them perform scientific explanation from the data that they collect. So the first one is in order to answer the question how chemicals can tell us about the quality of water. So I will let the teacher measure the weather temperature, the water temperature, the pH of water, and the DO. So like this. And then I will let the teacher present the data to the data sheet and create a scientific explanation to answer the driving question. And then, so I will let them walk through the SAGE modular again with the driving questions of the where does the activities that Dr. had said. Okay, that's all. It is not finished yet for the diabetes one.
Is Thailand, is everybody done with Thailand now? Are we finished, everybody?
Yes พี่ออมเสร็จหรือยังคะของหนูเสร็จ
I don't know if
Yeah.
Perinda's done.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes, I'm done. Thank you.
okay. So maybe we can then start discussing it. I will just start with one comment. And then we'll move it on to some other to look more carefully. I really liked your set of objectives. And I was thinking about when you first showed them that if you could just accomplish a half of them, that we would be successful. So I thought you had a really nice set and then I'll get into more comments later, but really good luck in trying to meet that really important set of objectives that you listed at the beginning. So let's go forward and see if other people have comments or questions. You can place them in the chat or raise your hand or just speak out and we'll have a discussion just like we did yesterday.
Yeah,
So,
Go ahead, Ann.
so I like the emphasis on phenomena, and I think it's a very powerful strategy to have your teachers in pairs, not only for the short term, but as you recognize that if it's going to go long term, not only is having a teaching buddy help in terms of thinking of strategies and pedagogy and all of the teaching part, but just also the moral support of trying to help their schools and their students transition to more of an inquiry approach. So that's a very important strategy. What I'm wondering about, so it looks like 7 days for the PD, and 3 of those days are on modifying Concord units. It looks like one of them will be on watershed, but I'm just wondering if you can share a little bit more about the Concord units to modify, because there's equal time for the Concord units and for the other 3 units for each 3 days. So I'm a little bit familiar with some of the Concord units, maybe not all of them, but I'm just wondering if you could expand on those 3 days a little bit.
So each unit will contain one day for each unit. This is the initial idea, but I think our team will have more activities or to choose. So right now for the interaction, for use in the interaction unit, I will choose the tape experiment. In this experiment, the students will observe how 2 strips of tapes what is called attract or repel each other. And we'll learn from the simulation that how charged particles interact with each other. And after the experiments, they will learn the patterns of the pushing and repelling of the particles. And after the activity, I focus on discussion about the pedagogy and how to use the questioning techniques, cooperative learning techniques, in order to construct that type of lesson. But for water quality unit and the health in our hands, Patchery will take the whole day for the experiment, right? Yeah. So
Yes, yes.
because we separate when designing the activity in each unit, now it's kind of look like different. We have to back and make it parallel with each other later.
So the Concord units, so you said modify Concord units and then modify the other 3 units. So are they really modifying 6 units, or are they looking to the Concord units for some simulations or some other activities that then they'll be able to use in the water quality interactions or health in our hands units?
Oh, okay. I think we will choose some of the experiment for them to really explore it, how the experiment get done, and then we will walk through the material and teachers will choose by themselves. They're not going to use the whole unit, but some small activities in there or some investigation. But the idea is they have to figuring out what phenomenon they would like to focus on and what kind of explanation or model that their students are going to do and use.
So thank you. That makes it a little more clear. The other thing I also like is your emphasis on helping teachers in terms of pedagogy. So you've shown a very thoughtful approach to help transition teachers, because that's a very challenging thing to do, is to take teachers and help them to shift in a new way of thinking. And so it seems like you're very, very purposeful on trying to help teachers to make that transition.
Thank you.
What other comments do we have from people in the group?
Yeah, I just want to ask a question. Yeah, so thank you very much for wonderful presentation, Parinda and Patchery. Regarding the peer teachers, I just want to know whether the one teacher have different tasks, or they have to support each other, or for example, one will be the main teachers, another will be just buddies. What the definition of buddies here? And the next question is about the HIOH plan, because there mentioned you will teach also diabetes type 1, 2, 3, and 4. Is it possible to do with junior high schools? Because I think diabetes type 1 and 2 is also difficult for them to understand. So will you stressing on 4 types diabetes, or only as a phenomena to introduce to the students?
Okay, thank you very much for the question, Dr. Moni. It is just introduction that diabetes have 4 types, but I just would like to focus on type 2 diabetes, just the habit of eating, but at the first time, I let them know how many types are there, and then after they read the passage, and then I will use the question, let them think about what is the cause of the diabetes, and then they can find out from the passage that the type 1 and type 2 is the most prevalent in Thailand, and the most one is type 2. Yes, so like this, and then I just follow to the
Yeah,
activity. Yeah,
yeah, thank
okay.
you.
As for the school buddies question, we plan that the teachers who comes in pair, they have to teach the same course in a school. So for example, they may teach um, in the different class. In Thailand, our school is large. So in one for grade 9, they might have about 10 classrooms. So we would like the pair of teachers to teach in the same course but different class, so that they can plan the unit plan together but separately teach in their own class, but switching the role of observing and discussing, so that they can help and support each other about the plan.
Okay. So it means both from the same school, right?
Right.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, I thought you guys did a really wonderful job on your work. I particularly liked all the reflection questions you wrote. I think those are very valuable. So I thought that was a very, very thoughtful, nice job. And I think the other participants, the others will benefit by looking very closely at your written questions. So I really like the rich number of reflection questions that you wrote. There's some missing, of course, but there's other ones that you have some really nice, thoughtful reflection questions. So I think those will be very valuable. I'm going to pay a little bit of attention to time because we have 2 other groups. So I'd like the next group. Thank you very much. I think both of you did a really nice job. Those
Thank you.
materials are really coming along really, really nicely.
Okay, thank you very much.
I did write a question for you in the chat, so take a look at that. So if we could get the next group presenting, that would be wonderful. I don't. Nora, are you presenting?
Yeah, I think our group from Malaysia would like to present the professional development plan. So is it okay, Doctor?
Yeah, great.
Okay, good. Wait. Okay. All right. So everyone can see my slide.
Yes, we can.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So a very good morning. Good morning and evening, and hello to everyone. Okay, especially for Dr. Project. Okay, Dr. Ann, Dr. Kazara, Dr. Burin, and my fellow friends from Thailand, Indonesia, Brunei, Myanmar, and also my friends in Malaysia. So we are from Malaysia team. Okay, for this professional development plan, okay, so actually we divided into 3 groups. So which there, the first group is they will handle the water quality project, and the second one is the health in our hands team, and the third team is the interaction team. So which means that in this project we already divide, okay, every teachers, they have to complete at least one module, so they can easily to sharing the informations to other teachers, and after that we will share it together. Okay, so for introduction, basically we know that Malaysia Malaysia is recognizing as the importance STEM education in preparing students for the 21st century challenges. So for this part, okay, we find that the professional development give us opportunities for educators to fostering interdisciplinary approach and empowering students to excel in STEM disciplines. And from this program, okay, the students able, not the students, but also the teachers able to implement the STEM concept and skills, integrating real world problems, especially for students, hands-on activities, and technology-enabled learning tools. Okay. Right. So we think that through the professional development, the teachers in Malaysia, they will able to improve or upgrading themselves in their teaching profession, especially in STEM education. Where is it? Oh, okay. Okay, so for our strategy, okay, for our strategy, we will do the workshop, and instead of doing the workshop, we also do the online meeting tutorial to help teachers, other teachers from other state, so they can, okay, they can align, do this project together. And also we do the professional learning community through peer coaching or sharing or lesson study. Instead of doing online meeting workshops, okay, and also the PLC, as to sustain the project, we also create a support team group through Telegram for each group. So it will be easy for easier for teacher to understand the project. And this is the optional. If the teachers want to do the PBL showcase, so they can do the PBL showcase also. Okay, and this is the timeline for the PD for our group. So overall, this project, it will conducted in 4 months. So which means that it is starting from March until July. Okay, where the teachers who attend the workshop through online last year, so they will become the master trainer. Okay, so they will represent, they will be the master trainer for Malaysia team, and then after that, the master trainer, they will train the teacher from the other state in teacher training program, and after that, the trainer from the state, they will also do the sharing, okay, and then train the teachers in every district, in every state in Malaysia, and also share this information through schools also. Okay, so the teacher who attend the PD or workshop, they will able to help students, okay, to do this project. Okay, so for the resource and materials, actually for the teachers in Malaysia, we have to follow the standard curriculum. Okay, standard curriculum for the STEM subject, which is the science subject, mathematics, and also the RBT. The RBT, it is the technology and design subject. So from the DSKP, we find out that there is a already theme mentioned about water quality, health in our hands. Okay, and from the water quality, for example, the teacher, they will do the collaboration with other teacher in the same school, and they will conduct a project-based learning, STEM integrated. Okay, so the students able to create or to proceed the PBL project. For example, the hydroponic for Form 2 students in Malaysia. Oh yeah, sorry. Before that, I would like to inform that so the objective of this PD, we divided into two, which the first one is for teachers. So from this professional development, so it will equipping the educators with the necessary skills and knowledge to effectively teach the STEM subjects. And the second one is to promoting interdisciplinary approaches to STEM education. And the third one is to improve teachers' ability to integrate technology and hands-on learning experiences into STEM instruction. And the fourth is encouraging educators to work together and network to exchange information and best practices. And number five is to empowering educators to address real-world problems and challenges through STEM education. And the last one is supporting the implementation of innovative teaching strategies and pedagogical approaches in STEM classrooms. Okay, and from the PD, right, from the workshop or maybe from the tutorial online or the support group. So the objective that the teachers and students can get is to increase a students' understanding of STEM concept and their relevance to real-world problems and challenges. The second one is to enhancing students' critical thinking, problem and analytical skills through hands-on STEM activities and PBL. The third is to promoting students' interest and engagement in STEM subjects and related fields. And number four is to fostering interdisciplinary approaches to learning by integrating science, technology, engineering, and mathematics concept. Okay, and number five is encouraging collaborative learning and teamwork among students to tackle complex STEM problem. Number six is to develop students' proficiency in using technology and digital tools for scientific inquiry and experiment. Number seven, to empowering students communicate their findings, ideas, and solutions effectively through scientific and also the presentation. And the last one is to building students' confidence and self-efficiency in STEM subject, leading to increase academic achievement and future success. And for the target groups for this project, where we focus on for teachers who are teaching the science, mathematics, and design technology subject, and also language teacher, either it is English language teacher or Malay language teacher in the same form, to attend this workshop or online tutorial. So overall, for one district or maybe for one area in one places, especially in Sarawak, for example, in Kuching, maybe probably we'll target 40 teachers for 10 schools to attend this workshop. And duration for this project is start from March until July. So it means that it will take 4 months. Okay. And for the strategy for our workshop is, yeah, as I mentioned before, we will do the workshop for the physical meeting, online meeting tutorial, PLC, and also the showcase. This is the optional, and also we also create as to sustain it, we also create the support group Telegram. Okay. Right. For the timeline, okay, so as I mentioned before, we will conduct it in 4 months. So it's up to teachers how they are creative to share their knowledge with other teachers in their school to proceed this project. So the teachers able to do the sharing through PLC by their own panel or do collaboration with other teachers with other panels. Okay. Now we go to before we proceed to the plan. Sorry. Okay. Before we before we go for the before we proceed the PD, okay, there is 4 aspects that we have to look into. The first one is the preparation for the teachers. So for this part, okay, we as a master trainer, so we have to identify the needs and also the resource. So it will be easier for us to share this information to other teachers in our district or our state. Okay, and after that, after we identify the needs and resources, for example, the resource for water quality and health in our hands. So the first one is we have to master the SAGE modular and also the CER model and also the interactions to create the module in our country. Okay. And the second one is preparation of module curriculum, where from this module curriculum, we develop a comprehensive curriculum to facilitate understanding of water quality and health in our hands, and also select appropriate learning models, including SAGE and also the CER and the interaction models to the teachers. Okay, after do the preparation, okay, we focus on the implementation. The first one will focus to the introduction module session. And the second one is the training on using the SAGE model. And the third is training on using the CER and pencil model and also the interactions. And after that, assessment, do the assessment, including the giving the task to the teachers and also a module, and do some assessment on them. Okay. And the last one is the evaluation. So the evaluation, we focus on the feedback, especially the teachers, and also the evaluation of learning outcomes and advanced program planning. Okay, now we go to the professional development plan. So for this PD plan, okay, we will conduct it in 3 days for state level. So in day 1, okay, we will focus to SAGE modular, okay, where the learning skills the participants will learn about model, and the goal for this module is to learn how to utilize the simulation or software search modeler, and the objective is to describe the importance and uses of search modeler. And the criteria is data analysis from the simulations, research based on simulation by using simple activities in daily life, which means that from day one, okay, in Sage Modular, the master trainer, they will do some demonstration on, Sage Modular to the participants. And then after do the demonstration, okay, the master trainer will give a simple question to participants to do the Sage Modeler by their own, and then they have to present their understanding on the using of the Sage Modeler in front, and also the demonstration. Okay, for module 2, in day 1 also, we will focus on CER paper pencil modeling, where the learning skills that they have to learn is the scientific writing research skills. Okay, the goal is to competence of the CER and paradigm of writing scientific skills. So the objective is to apply the CER paper and pencil template given in a Padlet, and then explain the structure and importance of the CER model. So for this module, the participants will use the CER module based on related topic given also. So during this program in day 1 for CER and paper pencil modeling, the master trainer will give the problem to the master trainer will give the problem according to the DSKP, and the participants, they have to create their own CER paper pencil by using Padlet CER and paper pencil model. Okay, so for interactions, we also proceed in day 1 too, where we focus to the critical thinking and also the communication. Okay, and the goal is to understanding the human interaction with the natural environment, and the specific objective is to identify the impact of human actions on the environment of the real world problem in daily life. Okay, the criteria that we focus on is to analyze of interaction effects and solving problem related to the environment or the real world problem daily life. Okay, so from this module in module 3, we will do the demonstration and also the training. Okay, and evaluation procedure, we will the participants, they have to present their task, and then do some demonstration as to evaluate their understanding level about Sage Modeler, CER and paper pencil modeling, and also the interactions. Okay, in day 2,
Laura, could you think about wrapping up in 5 minutes so we could have around 10 minutes of discussion and then move on to
Okay.
the other group? Okay.
all right. Okay, for water quality. So for water quality, we'll focus on the application of using the Sage Modeler CER model, and also they have to watch the video about the transforming dirty rivers into drinkable water in Malaysia. Actually, this is the video, a case study video. So from this video, the participant have to do the search modeler and also CR paper pencil. Okay, and on day 2 also we will proceed the module 5, health in our hands also. So for these 2 module, we proceed it same, okay, same way. And the last one, the last day is the evaluation. So from the evaluation, all participants, which mean that we will divide them into group, and then every group they have to present their group project through sharing. Okay. And this is the suggestions, examples for professional development, for project-based learning, for water quality. Okay. And this is the idea of implementing the process of learning about the water quality, especially for teachers in the school. So for this topic, they will proceed it in 5 days. Okay, but they can improve, or they can do some, they can modify, and then they can improve their project in 1 until 2 months. They can expand the time lah. Okay, and this is the search modeler for the water quality. This is just the example, the simple
Example.
Example by using the search modeler on water quality topic. And this is the instruction by using the CER. Okay, and the last one is the rubric for the water quality by using, this one is for the interactions. Sorry, Prof. Actually, for the rubric, actually, I forget to translate it into English language.
It's okay. You've done all the work.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. Okay. And I think, yeah, I think that's all.
Good. Well, thank you very much. You guys are really starting to come along. I want to see, before I make a comment, I'd like to see if other people have comments or questions for Nora and her team. So Nora, one thing I would like to see your team do, and maybe you were getting at it, and maybe it's just a translation aspect, but I would really like to see you provide more detail in how you'll do various aspects. So I was really pleased to see that you want to get involved in using CER and Sage Modeler. So I think that's a really positive aspect. But I'd like to see a little bit more detail in actually how you're going to help your teachers actually learn to use Sage and learn CER. So providing more detail, like a script, not necessarily a script that has to be followed line for line, but more detail on what will happen to support your teachers in using those various tools. So that's one thing I would encourage you to try to do that. So it looks like you've done a lot of work. There's a lot of planning involved, but more detail and how actually that will all get done, I think will be very, very beneficial. Other comments?
So I
Go ahead, Ann.
I very much appreciate that you have recognized and have been very thoughtful about the need to support the teachers, both in the short term and the long term, right? So I think for both the projects I heard today, that you recognize that in order for teachers to transition to this, they're going to need some long-term support. So you've been really thoughtful about the professional learning, coaching and peer coaching and sharing, and then lesson reflection. So I think that's such an important piece of all the professional learning for teachers. I'm a little unsure. Because the slides moved a little bit fast. I thought I saw in level 3, you had assessment, that there was some kind of a test. And is that for the teachers who are engaging in the learning? Is that what the test is? And could you just talk a little bit more about what that, so it was the level 3. Right, final test. So could you share a little bit of what that means? Is this a test like for content?
Thank you, Dr. N, for asking the question. Okay, according to the question, level 3 for the final test, which means that we will conduct the assessment to the teachers about the understanding of water quality and health in our hands module.
So will this be
At
like
the end, yes, at the end of the workshop, or yes, at the end of the workshop, in state level, district, and also during the sharing session in the school. So we will give we will give the final test through online. So it seems like a quiz for the teachers.
So is that test mainly focused on science, or is it a test that also has a student, both the teachers and then the students engaging in some of the practices as well? Or is it like a science content test?
We will put the assessment in, I think, the STEM context. Yeah, because the participants who attend the workshop consists of 4 teachers who are teaching different subjects, which it is the science teacher, mathematics teacher, RBT teacher, and also the language teacher. So we will test the understanding about how to use the Sage Modeler. That one is very important. Okay, and instead of including the Sage Modeler, we also add in some quizzes about CER and also the interactions. Okay.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I was going to say, having students and teachers engage in creating models and doing CER is both a powerful learning and assessment tool. So those two could go hand in hand. So if your final test has them like creating a model and doing a CER, right, then, you know, a lot can be learned from both the process of them doing it and then also looking at those as artifacts of what they've learned. The other thing I just want to say on a side, so Joe shared with me yesterday how wonderful your work is coming along, and I can see that today. I also, for both those presentations, the format that you've created has been very engaging, right? So I liked Nora and your group too. I like the pictures and the way you've set up your document. The two that I've seen today, I think, are going engaging to your participants. I'm a little bit, I'm going to borrow some of the ideas in my own work for the way that you're presenting these.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
So Nora, I don't know your country very well, but in the United States, and Ann can comment on this actually, teachers don't like to be tested. They're done with school. So so what I would try to do more is do more embedded assessments, right? So you could have your teachers construct the model during the PD and then present the model. And you could use that sort of, as an example of what they would do in class. And then you could use that as it is an embedded assignment. I know in the US, teachers tend to really revolt against them being tested, right? Because they see themselves as experts. And so they don't like being put in a position where they're tested. So I don't know if that's true in your nation as well, but I just wanted you to let you know in the United States, it doesn't go over very well.
Well, and that's why I was trying to also say, I think, right, having them do it as just part of their professional learning in your meetings with them does the same thing, but it doesn't, you can accomplish the same objective by just, right, having it embedded. And the other thing it would do is create more time. So if it's just part of their professional learning, then it doesn't have to also be at another task that would provide you with more time to go more in depth in other things.
Yes, I thought that's where you were going, Ann, but I wanted to be a little bit more explicit in it.
Actually, Prof and Dr. Ann, in Malaysia, we have two evaluations. It is the holistic, which is the holistic. So instead of testing the understanding cognitive side, we also evaluate students through their behavior also. Through doing project and also do a presentation, the engagement in the classroom. Yeah. In Malaysia lah.
Well, let's take one other comment from the participants about Nora's presentation, and then we need to move on to the other group. Kesra, do you have a question or comment?
No, I like to to express my appreciation, right, of Nora and her team, right, in catching up with the rest of the team in spite of their delayed participation in this program. And yes, even without the leadership from any agency, they apply to join this program because we put like an announcement, right, to them. Yes, I would like to express my appreciation that because they want to learn, they are enthusiastic to apply what they learn to their communities. Yeah, I would like to say thank you. And I'm really delighted that you join us and you want to do something with your teacher peers and your students. Yeah, very much appreciate.
Yeah, as Ann said, and Kesra said, the plans are really coming along very nicely compared to 3 weeks ago. So we're very pleased with everybody's accomplishments. We should probably go on to the last group. I'm not exactly sure who that is, but if the last group could start presenting. Kesra, did you write down who the last group was? I don't have.
Hello, sure.
Here we go. Good.
Okay, I would like to turn off the camera because the internet is not so good.
It's fine not to have your camera and you just need to talk
Yeah.
clearly and
Okay.
present your plans.
Let me share the screen.
Thanks. Thank you, Corn.
Okay, good morning, and good evening to all of you to in the Zoom here. I am Sukontiri from Cambodia. According to our country is joined a little bit late from our friend. We just start to design the PD plan, and today we would like present only one learning unit in topic health in our hand, and also it is not really complete, but we just try to present to get any comment from the from you or other to get it better. Yes. And here is our objective is we have three objectives. First one to develop scientific explanation, framework, and modeling among bio in service and pre-service teacher. And second one is integrate learning framework of health in our hand project based design in biology subject of middle school level. And the last one is to mentor the in-service teacher to develop the scientific explanation framework to apply to the student. And our target group, we choose a subject in biology, and scope, we choose participant pre-service and in-service teacher from our organization, Phnom Penh Teacher Education College. And the in-service teacher will be apply their the knowledge from the training to the grade 8 and grade 7. We call Anuvat School, which is the attached school under our organization PTEC. And we have 6 main activity. The first one is orientation about our project. Second one is 3-day training with face-to-face training about scientific explanation framework and the project of health in our hand. The third one is conduct consultation online or face-to-face meeting 3 times to develop PD plan, to have in-service teacher to develop their PD plan, lesson plan, learning, teaching material or assessment to their student, and reflect and feedback about the application when the implementation. They spend 10 weeks to implementation the PD plan, and we still mentor and coaching them to make it better. The last one is in-service teacher need to present the final evaluation and report about the result of practice. Here, I will detail in this table. So according to our three objectives, we try to pick up 3 questions from the PD question. So the first goal of the question one number 5, we want to use a driving question to train to the pre-supervision with teacher, and we the activity 1 in orientation meeting, we spend 2 hours. We present overview about our PD project and any question and answer about that, and we use slide to share information to them. It is in day 1, and day 1 the same time. We use another 2 hours for first learning driving question, and we connect the use driving question with the learning set in Hell in Our Hand project. So this one we want to introduce about diabetes, and we want them understand about cause and effect through the learning material that we provide, like Ministry of Health and Cambodia. The prevalent information about diabetes, and the video that explain about the diabetes, overview about diabetes. And we also use the slide of a driving question, but this one is the last section, mean that we show all of this material first and let them explore about the cause and effect of diabetes, and let them to generate question about the diabetes. And then we discuss and analyze the cause and effect, and then we discuss about the driving question, what is the driving question, and connect to the topic of diabetes. And at the end of the session, we have a assignment for them. Like they have to search for more information about diabetes that related to the diabetic mechanism in body, the environment factor, and also we give them the video of a CEO framework that they have to do pre-learning and practicing about CEO framework, like what is CEO framework, what is the important of you, how to use like that, and also another video about the pre-learning and practicing using modeling. For the purpose of our assessment, because the next session, the day 2, we will train them about CEO framework and check modeling, and we connect to the learning set of the Hell in Our Hand in diabetes, in topic of diabetes disease, and we use learning set 2, we use 2 hours, learning set 3 also 2 hours. Learning set 2 is about body mechanism and type of diabetes, and we want them to observe and discuss and describe how diabetes and body mechanism work. And the learning set 3 about the genetic factors that affect to the risk and pattern of inheritance of stress. And we let them to use CEO framework, hand-on using CEO framework to explain about that learning set 2 and 3. But the learning set 4 is in day 3, and day 3 we spend 6 hours. We focus on modeling, but we also connect to the Health in Our Hand topic, diabetes disease. And we want to construct explanation to the developing model of environment factor of diabetes. And we hand-on stimulation check model. And the learning certified hidden sugar food, we want them to use mathematics and computational thinking about the common food type that always that Cambodian people always consume in daily habit, and also record the type of food and what level of sugar in that food, and which food that we could avoid to decrease the risk of diabetes. Mean that is avoid the diabetes increased by factor, environment factor. And the last learning set is learning set 6 is obstacle healthy lifestyle. It also spend 2 hours. And this is finished for the training section 3 days. And then we continue to another goal is we want them to develop their PD plan. The intensive teacher develop the PD plan to use with the student in the middle school. So we provide them 3 times of consultation, that 1 time spent 4 hours. And the first one we spend on overview of mapping biology course syllabus at the middle school subject to define the entry point of integrated in overhead project, and also include CEO framework of set model to the student. And the second meeting, we still working develop their PD plan and develop material of teaching and learning and reflection. And the last, they present, the interview teacher will present about the PD plan, the teaching and learning material, and also reflect. And then they are ready to apply the PD plan at the school. They use 10 weeks to apply the PD plan. And then during the application 10 week, we also the leader of training team also have observed in week 1, week 5, and week 10 to week 1 is to observe, to record what could we have for more, and week 5 we want to observe for what is the what is that improve, what can we could have for more, and the week 10 is the replace for the post application. And the last activity final meeting and report that in survey teacher will present the record video of teaching and learning activity, record of assessment, the record result from the student achievement that they do pre-test or post-test, and the observation result, and also the certification surveys. And that is all for our plan. Please give us some comment. Any question? Thank you.
Thank you very much for your presentation. You know, I know that your group joined our project late, so I think you're making based upon that, I think you're making really good progress. I really like the outline that you developed, Corn. So I think your group is really starting to make a very, very nice progress. Considering that you joined substantially late compared to the
Yeah.
other group.
Thank you.
I would once again, go ahead, it's Corn.
this point.
I thought you had a comment, so I thought I interrupted you. I'm sorry if I did.
I already finished you.
Yes, anyway, so I think you're doing a good job in making progress and specifying, and certainly creating an outline of where you want to go with the professional development. I would, as time goes on, really like you to make more specific plans. You know, maybe a good analogy would be often when we work with students in
Yeah.
trying to help them write lab reports, we always tell them you have to include more detail, right? So that
Yeah.
other people can follow it. And so I want to make the same encouragement to you. Think of this as a lab report where you have to write enough detail so someone else can follow it. Another appropriate analogy might be a recipe for cooking, right? You want to make sure you have to, when you write a recipe for a cookbook or for a recipe, you need to have enough detail in there so someone can actually carry it out. So the question is what, it'd be nice to see a bit more detail and how you will carry out some of the plans you have. So you have a good set of plans, but how are you going to carry out those plans? So that's my big comment, but I think you're making good progress. I'm really pleased that you have ideas related to CER in there, because it's such an important practice.
And I would also, I totally agree with what Joe said. It's a very impressive start. But I'm wondering, and I'm not so familiar with the Health in Our Hands unit, but I can see that you have set aside 2 hours per learning set. And in some of those 2-hour segments, they're doing CERs or Sage Modeler. And I'm just wondering if that's enough time. And Joe probably can speak to that a little bit more. And then the other question I have for your group, but maybe for every group, is the assessments at the end. So for your group, it says there's going to be a pre and post test to look at. And Joe, I don't know if in all these sessions you've talked about assessment, but one thing we want to make sure is that the assessments line up with instruction. And so if they're, I don't know, I don't want to volunteer you for more work, Joe, but looking at what types of, what the assessments look like, because if they don't line up, then there could be other challenges that come with that. I don't know if I spoke clearly about that, Joe, but.
Yeah. Thank you very much for your comment. And actually, we also know that it is not detailed yet. And for all learning, all training material and assessment, we just write it down assessment, but we didn't create it yet. It is the big problem that is cannot show the detailed one for the PD, our PD plan.
So since both groups talk about assessments, I really,
Yeah.
my view of assessments should be that they should promote learning. And unfortunately, most individuals, because of the way we were raised, think of assessments as more of an evaluation. And so that's why I try to avoid, particularly in professional development sessions, talking about assessments, because I'm not really trying to evaluate the teachers. I'm really trying to promote their learning of how you do various features. Same thing in my classrooms. I'm more concerned about supporting kids in learning. And so often I think we put too much of a stress on assessment for evaluation purposes. And so I would, this is why I like embedded assessments, like artifacts or people creating models or people creating claim evidence reasoning statements, because I can use those as assessments to let me know what the individual knows, right? So if I look at when I look at reading a kid's explanation where they're providing a claim, evidence, and reasoning, it really gives me a lot of insight in how the kid's scientific reasoning, because the learner has to apply scientific principles in order to explain their data to show how that data actually supports the claim. And that's the whole process of scientific reasoning. So it really gives me a lot of insights into their work. So for my vantage point, particularly during professional learning, and in classrooms as well, I like to make more use of formative assessments or embedded assessments, because it really helps push the learning, and at the same time gives me information as the instructor about how people are developing.
And I even say to teachers and to students that these embedded assessments, or these assessments are to help me, but to help them to show where they are with their understanding right now, right? So what are things that they've really their assessment shows that they understand, and what are things in the assessment shows that they still need to develop understanding of, and not an endpoint. And that, I think, helps learners, whether they're teachers in service or pre-service, or if they're learners as students, to help them embrace the ideas a little more in terms of learning, rather than, as Joe said, in terms of evaluation.
Yes, thank you.
Other comments for the participants, for Nora or others as well? So Nora wrote an interesting comment. Not Nora, Murney, sorry about that. Murney wrote an interesting comment in the chat. Murney, I wonder if you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yes, so actually, I also teachers in Indonesia also have the same situation, that they don't like to fill in multiple choice or anything about the test about their knowledge. So I apply the reflective journal, and then they will share with me after they share with us about what they learn, what the obstacle during the learning process, and what they want to learn more. So I just put 3 questions about that things, and then the teachers, I think, will it's not about the test, but a reflection of the learning process. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really I learned that lesson a long time ago as a very young assistant professor, that teachers just don't like to get tested, right? So I really like Nora's comment, right? I don't think it's only true in the US. It's obviously true in Malaysia as well, Indonesia. So I think we need to be a little careful on that. And that's why I really like those embedded assessment. But Nora's Murney's comment on using reflective journals is a really nice idea. And it really goes along with all the really rich questions we saw, I believe, on Nora's earlier presentation, right? So if you write really good reflective questions and you get teachers to respond to those, that's really insightful and give you a lot of information. I saw Nora's camera going on, so perhaps she has a comment.
Hi. Hi, hello. So I think in Malaysia context, okay, in Malaysia context, instead of test the understanding of students, but actually, in my opinion, I really love in both. So it has pros and cons. If we implement, like for example, in Malaysia context, all the students, okay, all the students, even though we are trying to reduce the exam oriented, okay, but we also focus on how to increase students' motivation in STEM education through the hands-on learning project, like project or case study project or presentation, about the related topic given according to the DSKP. DSKP, it is the Malaysian syllabus. But I think for this project, if we want to test the students by using the CER, we have to be more careful because we actually, for the test, for the evaluation, so I think the teacher can evaluate students' understanding through communication as well. Yeah, because we know that human is very unique. They have weaknesses and also the strength. So they are very unique, and then they have a lot of ability. Yeah, that is my comment.
Thank you. May I, Joe?
Go ahead, Kessler, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to ask for Anne's advice, right? Because I observed that in many groups, like from Chulalongkorn group, there was an activity about asking teachers to think about scaffolding methods, questions, right, to help students. I try to think about the context of the classroom where students might lack the opportunity to make explanation through writing, right? So when teachers introduce this rich method of CER, right, for those classes where students hardly write, or maybe they might struggle in writing or making clear explanation. In your opinion, what should be a good starting point to help them write a clear explanation according to the learning unit that is embedded with the CR?
So how I introduce CER
To
is
to a classroom in which they might not used to even making explanation.
Yeah, so I actually introduce explanations outside of science because I want students to see that we actually use explanations in our everyday life. And I have 3 stories, vignettes that I put up, and I'm happy to share them, where I have, like, when students go shopping for clothes, right? They will go to the mall and they might, they'll go to different stores because they're trying to find a sweater. I have different ones that they want to purchase. And so they're going to really gather evidence and they're going to go to several stores because they're going to, in the end, decide on buying something because they may not say it out loud, but their claim is this sweater is the best purchase for my money. And then they'll have evidence They can say this sweater is very warm
Mm,
and the quality of the material is very high
mm,
and the price was the best price for this quality, right? They'll gather evidence
mm,
and then they'll talk about reasoning. So I have a story that I wrote about rollerblades,
mm,
right? I have two explanations for the
Mm.
same context. So one is these rollerblades that I bought
Mm.
were a great purchase.
mm,
And the person would say, I've had them for 2 years and they
Mm.
still work as good as when I first bought them.
mm,
And they're, so they have some evidence, right? I skate how many miles
Mm.
in a week?
mm,
And then reason that they're still good is because they
mm,
have rubber shoes and rubber wheels and they're very cushiony. And so it's claim evidence and reasoning. Then I take the same story and I say, these rollerblades that I bought were a piece of junk.
mhm,
I've had them only for a couple months
mhm,
and they hurt my feet.
mm,
They're uncomfortable and they make noise or whatever. And the reason is they have plastic wheels instead of rubber and they don't have cushion, right? So I have several stories
Mm.
and then I say to the students, you know, this is how we talk, maybe a little less formal, but
mm,
this is how scientists also, they gather evidence,
mm,
they make claims, and then they justify those. So I have, you know, 3 different stories to
Mm.
try to show students how we do this in everyday life.
Mm.
Like in the United States, sports is very big.
mm,
So another story, you know, that I say is, you know, it's about, you know, someone played really well in the basketball game yesterday, and
Mm.
then they scored this many points and they had this defense. So this is how I introduce it. And then I transition to say we do the same thing in science,
mm,
but of course it's related to science phenomena, etc.
mm,
Then students, they buy into it more because they see how it really connects to everything that we do. And
Mm.
I have found that to be very useful to introduce and then say, you know, claim evidence and reasoning for science. So if you think that's valuable, I can share those stories and then people can use them or adjust them or not use them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that will be very helpful. I think even for other subject area as well, right? Yeah.
And
besides
thing,
science, yeah.
another thing I do is I talk with the English teacher and the history teacher and the math teacher.
Yeah.
And now we all use claim evidence and reasoning. And that also helps students. I mean,
Mm.
the evidence in science is different than the evidence in history or English.
Yeah.
And then we help students understand those differences, you know, but
Yeah.
if students are using it in multiple different classes,
Yeah. Yeah, it
you
will
know.
be very powerful. Yeah, I think that's great. I think because yeah, if more teachers use CER, right, student will be used to, right, then practice even more, even outside science class, right? Yeah.
And aren't those examples in
Mm.
the materials you shared already?
So I can't remember. I think they are. I have to go
You
check,
can, yeah, but you can resend anyway. Yeah. Mm.
but I will send those. And
Yeah.
I also have a link to an article that is in the middle school
Mm.
in the United States called Science Scope.
Mm.
That is an article that I wrote with an English and history colleague about how we all use it. I could also send that article as well.
Mm. Yeah, I think that would be great.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I want to thank everybody for their presentations across the last 2 days. It's never easy to present in front of our colleagues. So I want to thank everybody, but I think we all learn from the experience, primarily from the discussion and the point that that come up. So first of all, thank you very much. Second, on next week, we have 2 more days left, running down, sadly enough. But once again, your presentations served as artifacts, or actually as assessments, that actually gave us lots of information about the progress you made. And hopefully in your presentations, they've also helped you develop further as you try to explain some of the ideas. Because often when you have to speak something, you actually learn something even better. So next week, we're going to continue on our presentations, but we're changing a little bit. Next week, we would really like each group to focus it and present something. Like, for instance, how we introduce your teachers to CER. So we'd like you to do instead of presenting your professional development plans, you're going to present a small lesson, introducing people to CER, introducing people to Sage Modeler, introducing people to the driving question. How do you support them in discussions? Some feature we've been talking about. How do you introduce them to the various units, right? So many of you mentioned these. And so now we want to go a step deeper, and we're going to be your participants, and you're going to do professional development in some respect for us for about 30, 35 minutes. And then we will provide you comments. So because of time, I think I'm going to ask Buren to send out a message to everybody tonight or today or whatever, or tomorrow, so people can sign up about when they want to present. We have, again, we'll have each day we'll have about 3 45-minute sections. And I'd like to have different lessons being taught. So maybe Buren can send out a message with, you know, what's on Tuesday from 8:05 to 8:50, what's going to happen in the next session and the next session, right? So we get about these 45-minute chunks, and then we can sign up and people could say what topic, what area they're going to present, so that we can each not be redundant. Interesting enough, if people want to break down CER, that's fine too. Perhaps, for instance, you want to do a lesson for us on how you're going to help people understand the reasoning portion of the CER, because that's the most complex aspect. But we would like to have different groups present different lessons.
So Joe, just a quick question. Then will everyone else who is not presenting be learners, be students? So are the presenters like teaching like they would to their
Yep, we're their audience.
Micro teaching.
We're right. It's like your mic. Yes, that's right, Darren. They're micro teaching to us. Kesra, do you have any comments on that?
No, I think I look forward to next week.
And Anne's written a number of nice articles on explanation. And so, Anne, I wonder if you could create a folder in the Google Doc where you could actually put several of your papers, including the one in JARST. A lot of these, I think they would find the one in JARST and also the one in Dizer. I think people would find all your writings, your NSTA writing, as well as those other writings of value. So if you could put those in a folder called Anne's writings or Anne's articles or something, people could then get access to them.
certainly.
Great. Well, it is the hour. I do want to see if people have any further comments. And so I want to just once again thank everybody for their work, and I think it all helped us learn and develop and grow. And any final comments from what final comments from anyone else?
No, so can you say like maybe a few minutes after the session? Do
Sure.
you still have time? Yeah, okay, thank you.
Well, nice working with all of you. I have to run and teach.
Okay. Thanks, Anne, for dropping by
you.
today. Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye everyone.
Bye.
Everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank
Yeah, there's a
you.
question
Bye.
for you, Joe, in the chat box.
Yeah, we will.
Yeah, I tried to respond to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, I'm not sure who that's from, but. so
Partially.
Jar-
Yeah.
Hi, Jar, if we want to publish in JARST, we really need data. We could plan a study. It'd be interesting to see, plan a study where you talk about both what's going on in this project, your plans, and then somehow getting, some of the artifacts of the teachers as data about the success of the PD, and perhaps even do interview with some of the teachers, right? That could be interesting. I'm not sure if JARST is a place for it. I would probably suggest the Journal of Science Teacher Education. I think they'd be more receptive to that. But there are different possibilities.
So maybe on next time when we meet, maybe you can share this with the group about the possibility and your suggestions on this about that.
Sure.
Yeah, but thank you, Ajahn Vachali, for raising this.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you
Mhm.
very much. So I just let you know before you leave, Professor Joe, that in 2008, so I joined the NSTA, and then I came to that conference and came listen to you. So you are as the editor
Error.
of JARS. That is a very top journal. It is very difficult to publish. So, and then I
That's
was-
what you inspired her. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very
And
much.
if you ever come again and I'm there, please come up and say hello.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Yeah, that would be great. So yeah, I think Joe can maybe can suggest anything next time when we meet. Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Okay.